welcome to Ready Set Demo. I'm going to have a little look at just a note today. These are the stamps and I've cut out the dies for you so that you can see them. And if you are, like me, a bit of a fan of stationery and office supplies, then this is absolutely the stamp set for you. So it cuts out like a little torn off notebook piece, and you can, I'll just pick one up. You can actually put the little paper clips on there and of course cut them out with silver foil, and they just look such the part. They're just wonderful. We've got a bigger clip which makes like a little notebook. It doesn't include the text, but I will come to that in a moment. So it can make a little kind of clip like so. We've got various little arrows and hearts. We've got one of these little heart-shaped paper clip type elements as well. And then we have this piece here, which makes a clip with this bit like so. Now, I quite like that, but I wanted it to be 3D, like this, so that it really looks like my actual clip, and it's got a bit more 3D about it. I love it, and so I'm going to show you how to do that. Also with this little piece here, I thought it was good as a little tag or label on the side of a card. If you are a scrapbooker, it is absolutely fantastic for scrapbooking. I've got my little piece down here. You can see I've got all sorts of pegs. I've used the little call out tag. I will do a separate video where I'll do a show and tell for this layout. I know you can't quite see it under all of it under the camera there. So I'll do a separate video for that. So watch out for that. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're going to make this card today. And I'll also show you this one and show you a few tips about how I did that. And I'm going to do it in a slightly different colorway as well. So let's get started. I will say straight away that sometimes stamp sets are meant to go together in my head, whether the designers meant them or not. But this is the Just a Note one. So the main element that you've got on here is these lines, so that you can actually do a little piece of text on there of some description. You've got some little notes on there and bits and pieces. I think elements of text or any other text based stamp that you have is an absolute dream with the Just a Note. I think they go so well together. Also things, as you'll see, things that have got any sort of ephemera type look to them, a vintagey look, are really good too. But let's put these aside and I will get on with making the card. Let's put these over here, because I am going to use the Secret C for my card base. Now tell me, what colour do you see when you see Secret C? For me, it is a perfect charcoal blue-grey colour. I absolutely love it. Some people say they can only see black, but let me put a piece of black next to it and show you this is not black, but it is, for me, the new black. And at the time of filming, we have a discount on all our in colour goodies. So make sure you go to the Stampin' Up website, speak to your Stampin' Up demonstrator, or me if you don't have one and you're in the UK, and find out how you can get a discount on those goodies. For my layer, I'm going to use cloud cover, but I want to give this a little bit of texture. So let's do some stamping. Now I'm going to use one of those elegant elements of text stamps, and I'm going to stamp in cloud cover. If you just have cloud cover on a little spot, this would be quite tricky because this is a big old stamp. So in that case, I would say stamp in Versamark if you're stamping onto cloud cover, because you will still get a kind of tone on tone effect. But as I am lucky enough to have the actual ink pad, and if you don't know the story of cloud cover, ask your demo, but it is beautiful to use. Right, okay, I will just stick a bit in the middle, even though I think most of that is going to be hidden behind, because it just bothers me having a hole. Right, okay, so just all over a little bit of background texture there. Right, so we're going to stamp the piece to go on front of our little clipboard. And this, I've written on the back, is 2 3/8 by 3 3/4, and I'm doing that in Very Vanilla. And we'll see if we can get them more or less lined up, looking around the camera. And there we go, that's not too bad. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm going to stamp on there in Secret Sea ink, and I'm using With You in Mind. I'm going to use the Best Wishes. I want a nice bold greeting on this one. So let's pop that on. And then I want some kind of ink splotty bits. So I'm going to use this stamp. This is from that Elements of Text again. Let's just put them down at the bottom here. So now I'm going to make my clipboard. So my clipboard is 2 5/8 by 4 1/4, and you can just have it straight like so, but I'm actually going to corner round mine using a retired corner rounder. Please, 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 Stampin' Up, bring us back a corner rounder. Because we've got them, but our new stampers might not have one. Right, and so that's going to be my little clipboard. And I've done that, I should say, in pecan pie. So now let's do the next bit and make the clip. This is the bit you wound forward to, isn't it? That's all right, I do that too. Okay. Right, so we're going to take our clip piece. We want this to be 1 1/4 wide by 2 1/8. And then we need to score along the end there. We're going to score at 3/4 inch. 1 inch, 1 3/4, and 1 7/8. Now, how this works is we're going to form our little clip like so. Now, I've cut myself 2 of these little clip pieces in our silver foil. I have backed them with the adhesive sheet, but don't take it all off because we're going to leave some of that adhesive sheet on for one of them at least. We want this, as I say, this little shape, this little piece is going to roll up, but we want to be able to put the clips sort of into it. So taking a pair of paper snips where you've got it scored at the bottom, you're going to come in about 1/4 inch and about 1/4 inch, and then the middle piece is going to be folded back, and I'm going to secure that down with tearing tape. Okay, so that's the back. We want this to pop up and we don't want it to flatten down completely on in the post or anything. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals in there. In fact, I'm going to put 4. I am using black dimensionals. If you have black dimensionals, those are the ones you want to use, as you don't really want to see any white through the side. If that's all you've got, it'll still work, but it's actually, when we sell the black dimensionals, they come in a pack with 2 sheets of the large ones and 2 sheets of the small ones, and they'll last you for ages because you don't use them all the time. But I would highly recommend you pop some on in your shopping cart if you don't own them. Yes, we have the little ones as well. Okay, so now you can see this coming together. This piece is going to come up like so. So what we want to do is we want to have some adhesive on these little ends here. And I'm doing that again with tearing tape. And then we take the backing off and then just fold in the excess tearing tape so it's just on the bottom edges. You could do this with Tombow. It's just a little bit quicker with tearing tape. And then I'm going to fold these pieces inwards before. Right, so I'll just bring in my silicone mat here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to take that adhesive sheet backing off the back, but as you can see, I'm just chopping this off. Let's just lift it up. I'm chopping off the adhesive backing right at the point where it comes in because I don't want the top bit to be sticky. So I'm going to leave the adhesive sheet on the back at the top. Let's pick this up. And we will position that so that the little feet are going to be underneath where we're going to roll in, so about centrally. You can adjust them, you can pull them out a little bit, make sure they're straight and give them a press down of the adhesive. Now we're going to roll these little pieces upwards and stick them down. And then finally, and this is optional, you can have another clip on the back to really give it that 3D look. So you don't have to do this, but I am going to indulge. So I'll put a couple of bits of and then remembering that you want to see the back of this one. So this one doesn't need to have adhesive sheet on it. This one, you just want to line up so that it's in the same place. You want to see the back of it there. So when you flip it over, you're seeing the silver side, both sides. Right, let's glue this little one in place. You can see where I didn't get it straight when I stamped it the first time. It's because I was trying to do it sitting down. I'm much better standing up. But my knees don't think so anymore. Right, okay, so I'm just going to glue that on and then using the tearing tape, I'm going to position that over the top. Let's get it straight. I want my clip to be straight on there. And give that a push down. And there you go. You've got your little perfect clip. Right, let's finish off this card and then I'll show you some more little tips. So we've got this layer here. And I've got another layer that I'm going to stamp. I'll stand up for this one. And the good thing is, if you stamp it first and then die cut it, it doesn't need to be straight. So cute. And then I'll take my Secret C and the elements of text and just do a little bit of text over on that side, because we're going to have this peeking out from behind. Let's put this down first. I'm going to have a little clip on there, so I'll just put some glue on the back there and pop that in, do it at an angle. Let's say you could do that one in silver as well. I'm just using one of the white ones that I was showing you. And then I'm going to pop this one over the top. And if you want to, you can add some other little elements on as well. On this one, I put on a little star. I actually used this little clip piece at the top there. And this little word, this actually does come from, let me show you, the Just a Note. So it's the You've Got This. And I used it as a little arrow. So I just inked that up, just the this up, and stamped that down. Did a little bit of daubing around the edge to give that a little kind of vintage look. And let's also put a sheet on the inside that I stamped earlier. And I'm going to do that in a jaunty way with a little ink splot on the bottom. So that is that one. Let me know if you like it. I'm looking at this and thinking I want this now to be in a Secret C coloured clip, or it needs to be silver. So I may play with it. You may see something different by the time you see the photo of that one, but I'll have a little play. Let me show you this one as well. So this one is that bigger clip shape. And what I've done is I have cut it out in, I didn't have gold, but I did have silver. I cut it out in silver. I also cut out the same shape there in early espresso and offset it a little bit. I don't know how subtle that is. You can see a little sort of shadow. And I don't know if you can see, I've made it a bit vintage. How I did that was I took my dark pecan pie blending brush and then went over the silver. And it comes out, even if you try and colour it neatly, it comes out a bit patchy. But if you leave that to dry, it gives a really nice vintage look to your clip. I put the little piece on the side there as a little tag. My stamps that I've done on here I thought it also went well with Spotlight on Nature. So I've got a bit of Spotlight on Nature down here, some other bits of text there, and I've daubed around the edge, and I've used some torn two-tone cardstock in Early Espresso and inked the edges there as well. So I do hope you like those projects. If you'd like me if you want to see the show and tell of the scrapbook page that I did using some of these goodies, check my other video. I'll try and leave a link down below. Or as I say, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you soon. Bye.